and welcome to the space that gives you inspiration on motherhood, parenting, marriage, homemaking, and work, business, jobs, career, and everything in between. You guys have given me such amazing feedback on this series. I wish I knew. It's what I would have started with from the start of the year. You guys are absolutely enjoying women in business. Thank you so much for liking, for subscribing, for sharing, guys. Oh my gosh, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate. Yeah, I just appreciate. I appreciate. Yeah. So thank you so much. I appreciate. Now, last week I shared some of the qualities about women that makes us great business leaders. But today I want to talk about our qualities that make us not so great business leaders. Are you ready for it? Let's dig in. One, this one's a bittersweet one. It's almost like a double-edged sword, and we talked about it last week. Our ability to multitask. We are great at it, but unfortunately, because we are so good at multitasking, we are too busy. We are so busy, we have very poor record keeping. And that's why last week when I talked about, the fact that we can remember the detail and everything, it's all in our minds. It's nowhere written down because we're too busy. Too busy. So that's something that we really need to watch. Two, another thing about us as women is we're very critical of ourselves. Gosh. Very critical of ourselves. We never, like every time we want to do something, we're always looking at what will make us fail at doing it. And so because of that, we find it so much safer to copy and paste other people's businesses. Because we're not sure if we do it our way. We're too critical of doing any business our way. And so because of that, we copy and paste. We're just like, man, that looks safe. She started a boutique. It sells clothes from Turkey. She goes once a month to Turkey. That's something that I would like. We're never ever thinking for ourselves. We're thinking about what somebody else does, and then we're copying and pasting because we're too fearful of who we really are, and we're too critical of ourselves. So that kind of makes us not very good business leaders. The third thing, another bittersweet one. Remember last week we talked about how emotional we are and how, we have high emotional intelligence, and so we elicit a lot of engagement with our staff. Unfortunately, this emotional side of us makes us very subjective. We can never look at an issue on its own. Like if someone breaks a cup, let's say, for example, in your business, or destroys a dress in your boutique, or we'll always attach it to something else that it might not be. We're always looking for how it connects to something else. And so because of that, sometimes we shout too much. Sometimes we keep quiet too much because there's more than just an action that has happened for us in the business. It's connected to emotions, and then we put it all in, and it just becomes murky inside our businesses. So making us completely not objective. The thing I think about that we can learn from our male counterparts is they're able to separate. They can never be in a place where they attach what someone did before to what they've done now, and then try and make it look like it's the same thing, which is what we do a lot because we're trying to connect. Men treat each situation as it is on its own, and that's something that we probably as women might need to learn, right? The fourth, another bittersweet one, is that we are nurturers. I said that that's such a nice thing because it helps with customer service and customer retention. Remember that last week? Guess what? Because we are such nurturers, the problem is that we become micromanagers. We're always there looking to make sure somebody's doing it right. Like we can't delegate. We can't give somebody else to do something. We always think we're the ones that have to do it. And that hinders a lot of our ability to free up time, right? And it doesn't help that we're also multitaskers. So now we really think, yeah, we got this, and yet really we don't. That nurturing ability that we have, unfortunately, makes it very difficult for people to work under us. We are constantly, because we are so used to sending our children, hey, get me that, hey, do this for me, hey, and then you go and check on your child to make sure they've done it. We do exactly the same thing with our staff members. We tell them, can you get this report done? And then we go to check if they've done the report, and we are, in over their heads. You know the way we used to feel about our parents being over us? That's exactly how we are with our staff members, because we are just naturally nurturers. The other thing another quality about us women that makes us not very good business leaders, another bittersweet one, or another double-edged sword, is the fact that we're not egotistic, right? Last week I said it's great that we're not egotistic, and that makes us great business leaders, but guess what? We're not egotistic makes us also not very good leaders. And what do I mean by that? Have you ever seen a really accomplished woman and a really accomplished guy? The guy will never downplay his accomplishments. Never. In fact, his CV compared to a woman who has done exactly the same thing are very different. I remember working once, because I work with young people on their careers, right? And we were working on her CV. And I remember in the template I gave her, asked her to write her accomplishments. Now, when she submitted it back to me, she'd removed the accomplishments and put responsibilities. So I called her up. I said, hey, I asked you to write your accomplishments, but you wrote your responsibilities. And then she goes like, I don't know what accomplishments I had. I'm like, wow. Like, when are we proud of the work that we've done? When are we able to describe it? When are we able to write it? And I remember feeling such a sense of, I identified with her because I went through the same thing in the bank. You would look, I'm just remembering and just recalling what I went through, and it makes me sad. But my boss asked me what were my accomplishments, and we were doing a performance review, and he asked me, what did you accomplish? And I started to swallow saliva. I was just like a fish out of water, because I was just like, I couldn't say anything. I could say my responsibilities, but what I had accomplished, I couldn't say it. But then it just so happened that he asked my colleague, who happened to be a guy, and I was floored. My jaw was on the floor, and this was my junior. And he could say what he has done. He had numbers, he had statistics. I was just like, whoa. And so because of that, I've changed a lot, and I want to encourage women, because we're not very egotistic. We downplay our very own accomplishments. So I think it's something that we could change. A fifth thing that makes us not very good leaders is we really don't like to do anything on our own, because we are very communal beings as women. So because of that, we have very delayed decision making. You have to make sure everybody is on the same page before you make a decision. Again, this is a very bittersweet or double-edged sword quality of ours. But there's times when you need to cut the curb and you need to make a decision. At that point, we need to know when we need people's buy-in and when we just need to make a decision. When we need to know that we're the vision bearers, we know where we're going, and where the group consensus is taking us is not where we're supposed to be going, and so we make a decision at that point. I feel that as women, because of our communal nature, we're not able to make decisions right there. And at a time of turmoil and all of that stuff, if you're in chaos, sometimes we don't make decisions that quickly because, well, we're trying to get consensus. The seventh, I'm almost done, is this one. As women, we generally like peace and happiness and joy, and so we don't like to offend people. We don't want to step on people's toes. We don't want to make people upset. We don't want to make people sad. And so, because of that, us as women in business, most of the times we keep bad employees. We keep the worst employees. Like, I remember a time, I'll never forget my worst recruitment. I remember every day coming home and crying about this one employee, but never ever doing anything about it. I was constantly feeling, oh, maybe she'll change, maybe things will change, maybe I'm the one who didn't do something, maybe I spoke to her real bad, maybe I didn't give her the right instructions, maybe I had every other reason than to offend her by firing her. It's Are you a business leader and you're a woman? Tell me how many people you fired vis-a-vis how many staff you should have fired. So there's people you should fire and there's people you should have fired. Because for most of us, we have so many people we should have fired, but we don't really fire them. So tell me in the comment section, how many of you have the ratio of should have been fired versus were fired is equal? For most of us, those who should have been fired is way higher than those that were ever fired. And then lastly, and probably this is probably our worst quality. We bring each other down. For decades we've said men are the ones who bring us down, but now we've realized no. We women, we bring each other down. We are the worst support of each other. We look at everything wrong that our girlfriend has done, and then we tell her, and we bring her, we shout, we shut her down, we discourage her, we abuse her down. We've seen that a lot on social media. I don't think we'd ever known the gravity of how much we pull each other down until social media came. It's been so real. I take a picture and then somebody has something wrong, something to nip at me, to nip at somebody else. Or why did you wear makeup? Or why did that lipstick didn't work well? I look at men posting videos and men's comments, and they're talking material 100% of the time. You never find a guy commenting on a guy's video and saying, wrong shirt. Never. Why is it that for us women, we're just like, why did you wear your hair like that? I don't like braids. Why did she do braids? Why do we do that to each other? And because of that, our employees who we work with or fellow women that we work with are affected by that. We're always looking at the wrong things that they're doing and pulling each other down. And so, hey, next time you think you're a woman encouraging another woman, check that you've not pulled another woman down, right? Because, hey, this world is all ours, mine and yours. Are you planning on starting a childcare business? I am running the childcare business course. Now could be a great time for you to get into the link, into the description box, and find out how you can be a part of it. Until next time, see ya. Bye-bye. Oh, did I say like, comment, subscribe, and share.